Thank you for watching Jackson Bleacher's preview of the U.S. Open. It officially starts Monday mornings when the main draw starts. The draw is out, qualifying's over, and we're just going to quickly run through some of the bigger early round matches, and we'll talk about the men and the women, but we'll start with the women first. In the women's top half, Simona Halep is the number one overall seed, and she's at the top of the top half. The earliest she would have to face a seeded player would be the third round, and that would be against Pavlyuchenkova. Some of the big names in her half of the draw are Serena, Venus, Muguruza, Ashley Barty, Pliskova, Victoria Azarenka, Sloane Stephens, Elise Mertens, Julia Georgis, Anastasia Sevastova, and Alina Svitolina. In that half, there are a couple of first-round matchups you probably want to keep an eye on, but the biggest one definitely is Venus versus Svetlana Kuznetsova. Both of them have won multiple majors, even though Kuznetsova, they've all been in every final of a major too, but Kuznetsova has only won the Australian Open, but she won it twice. They're both a little older. They're not really in their prime anymore, but it should still be a really high-quality first-round match, and they're two big names that people who followed the sport for a while know. So that's definitely the match of the first round in the top half of the draw. The second round could be really fun if everything works out. We could end up with 5 really good second-round matchups in this half. We could see Georgie versus Venus or Kuznetsova, whoever wins that. Lucy Safarova versus Barty. We could see Azarenka would have to play Gavarola, and then Bondarenko versus Mertens. And to wrap it all up, Agnieszka Radwanska could possibly have to play Svitolina. So really good possible second-round matchups there in the top half. There are also 12 Americans in the top half. They are Vanya King, Serena, Venus, Caroline Dolehide, Whitney Oswego, Asia Muhammad, Sophia Kenin, Sloane Stephens, Daniel Lau, Claire Liu, Jen Brady, and Sasha Vickery. So that's a look at the top half real fast. We'll run through the bottom half. Caroline Wozniacki is the top seeded player in the bottom half. She's number 2 overall, and even though she is the top seed in that half, Sam Stosur is her first round matchup. That's not going to be easy. Stosur is a seasoned vet. She knows what she's doing. It'll be fun to watch. But some of the other stars in Wozniacki's half are Caroline Garcia, Carla Suarez Navarro, Maria Sharapova, Yelena Ostapenko, Madison Keys, Coco Vandeweghe, Angelique Kerber, Petra Kvitova, Naomi Osaka, Daria Kasatkina, Kiki Bertens, and Jeannie Bouchard. She wrapped up qualifying yesterday. She's in the bottom half of the draw. Some of the better first-round matches, American Coco Vandeweghe has to face Kirsten Flipkens. Caroline Garcia, who's seeded 6th, has to play Joanna Konta. Ostapenko, who's 10th, will have to face Andrea Petkovic, and Elise Cornet, Joanna Larson should be fun too. That's even though neither one of those players are seeded. The best possible second-round match would be Angelique Kerber. If she can get out of the first round, would have to play the winner of Cornet and Larson. The Americans in this half of the draw are Nicole Gibbs, who qualified, Taylor Townsend, Amanda Anisimova, Madison Keys, Bernarda Pera, Coco Vandeweghe, Danielle Collins, Francesca Di Lorenzo, who qualified, and Christina McKell. So that is a look at the women's side of the tournament real fast. We will run through the men, and the men's top half, number 1 overall seed, this is Rafa Nadal. This is his half of the tournament. Some of the other guys in Nadal's half, the featured players are Andy Murray, Dominic Thiem, Roberto Bautista Agut, Kyle Anderson, Juan Martín del Potro, John Isner, Milos Raonic, Stan Wawrinka, and Grigor Dimitrov. And even though Nadal is the top seed, the USTA did not do him a whole lot of favors by making him play David Ferrer in the first round. But is compelling as a Nadal-Ferrer first-round match at a major is, the most intriguing is definitely Wawrinka and Dimitrov. because Wawrinka is easily a top 10 player in the world, but he's slid way down the rankings because he's missed so much time this year with the knee injury. And obviously, Dimitrov is a top 10 player, but he's the victim of some bad luck here because they have to play each other in the first round. I mean, terrible luck for Dimitrov, but great luck for us as tennis fans because that should be something crazy to watch. Another entertaining first round match will be Fernando Verdasco versus Feliciano Lopez. To me, this is a good enough matchup by itself, but when you factor in that Andy Murray has to play the winner, it just makes it even better. Obviously, for those of us who keep up with tennis, it's no secret that the American men haven't been great recently. But if one of them does finally find a way to break through, that's got to be in this top half of the draw just because of how stacked the top half is. You got the big dudes. You got John Isner and Jack Sock and Sam Querrey in this half, but some of the other Americans are Taylor Fritz, Steve Johnson, Ryan Harrison, Dennis Kudla, Jared Donaldson. So I think obviously if somebody is going to break through, it's going to be Isner, Sock, Querrey, or maybe the only guy really in the bottom half would be Tennis Sandgren. He broke out in the Australian Open, but we'll get to the bottom half right now, actually. Some of those bottom half guys, the Americans we just mentioned, was Tennis Sandgren. The rest of them are Francis Tiafoe, Tim Smyczek, Mackenzie McDonald, Michael Momoe, Jensen Brooksby, and Noah Rubin. But so those are the Americans in this bottom half. Roger Federer is the top overall seeded guy in the bottom half. He's the number 2 seed. This is his half, but it is absolutely loaded. Some of those other stars are Marin Cilic, Adrian Manarino, David Goffin, Charles Schwartzman, Gael Monfils, Kei Nishikori, Alexander Zverev, Novak Djokovic, Lucas Pouille, Hyeon Chung, who broke out the Australian Open, Nick Kyrgios, and Roger Federer. So obviously I think you got to put Djokovic and Federer are the 2 favorites, but I could see Cilic, Nishikori, Zverev, or Goffin finding a way to make it to the final. If everything does go the right way, we could end up with 3 pretty good second round matchups in this half. Djokovic could actually have to play Tennis Sandgren. Kei Nishikori, who was a former finalist at the U.S. Open, would have to play Gael Monfils, who not that Monfils has a great chance of going deep in the tournament. But anytime he plays, it's must watch just because of how dramatic he is, and especially when he's playing a guy like Kei Nishikori, who does have the ability to make a run at this thing. Charles Schwartzman could end up playing Guillermo Garcia Lopez, and that probably wouldn't get the same amount of attention that a Monfils Nishikori or a Djokovic Sandgren match would get. But I think it would be it could be the best out of all 3. So that is a quick look at the U.S. Open. It will start Monday morning at 10 o'clock Central Time, and it should be fun. Last major of the year, so let's enjoy it. Thank you for watching.